Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Come on in. I got some brown butter going here. I'm getting ready to saute some peppers and onions. I am doing some something similar to gumbo, but it's a seafood stew. And I'm sauteing my peppers, onions, and celery. And I'm letting that butter brown a little bit. I almost let it brown a little bit too much, but it'll be fine just like it is. Okay, in that pot I have one medium onion, one medium green pepper, and a large stalk of celery that I put in my little food processor and ground it all up. Put it in there, just saute it, and when I get it to a certain point, then I'm going to be throwing in some shrimp, some scallops, potatoes. I'm gonna saute everything. Then I'm gonna put my liquid in. We're gonna start it to boil it, and we're gonna have us some seafood stew, y'all. It's just a little something that I thought of that I wanted to do. I wanted something sort of different today for dinner, so I put a little shrimp in it, little scallops in it, and some oysters, smoked oysters. And yeah, they're gonna be canned because they didn't have any fresh oysters, so we're going to use some canned ones. They'll do just fine. So, no. In fact, I just got started about 10 minutes ago when I figured out what I wanted. I just figured out what I was going to cook. So what I'm doing now is just sauteing. I put the bell pepper, onion, celery. I put it in that food processing, grind it up real fine. Now I'm sauteing it in butter. I'm going to cook down for a bit. I'm just throwing in everything I'm done. So this is going to be a duck stew. But everything's going to get sauteed before I actually start cooking. All that's to steam. So while that's mixing all and cooking all in, I'm going to start putting in my seasoning. Now, last night I made, I made some jerk seasoning, and that's what I'm going to be using for the base of my seasoning. Of course, I got my old vintage gumbo filet that I'll be putting in there. And I'm going to put some, of course, garlic powder and onion powder. There's Kylie. She's still here. Okay, some onion powder, garlic powder, all that. You know, the usual suspects are going to be in the pot tonight as well. So, I got my big old soup pot, as y'all can see.
Can I make myself a cup of water?
Yeah, use your same cup that you, yeah, there you go. I'm going to put a tablespoon of...
Push it back?
Just push it back and you can get it. Lord, they want to do it. As soon as I get started, they want to do it. Okay. So this is almost to the point where I'm going to start putting in the other ingredients. But before I do, I think I need to put a little bit more of oil in that pan. Okay, we're back. Okay, now I think I'm going to go ahead now and just go ahead and start putting in. I've got some shrimp.
What are you going to do?
I got a bag of wild Alaskan shrimp that I'm just going to go ahead and drop in there. Now, mind you, the steam is so great. I'm going to drop my shrimp in. That's what I'm doing. My shrimp is getting sauteed. I'm sauteing my shrimp. My scallops. Get the scallops going. Hold on one. Just a moment. Okay, y'all, I've got my chicken. I boiled some chicken wingettes to put in there, so I got that going in there. And it's going to take a few minutes to get everything boiling again, because now I've got to pour some water in there. And along with that water, I'm going to go ahead and put in my couple tablespoons. I don't have any chicken broth this time, so I'm doing a couple tablespoons of bouillon. Hold on. I poured in 4 cups of water, and of course I'm going to have to put in 4 more cups, probably about 10 cups of water. So I got 4 in so far, and that's where we are broth wise. So I'm gonna let that start to boil, and I'll be back and I'll when it start boiling. I got potatoes to put in, I've got okra and corn to put in. So once it starts to boil, a rolling boil, then I'll put in the rest of the ingredients. So hang in there. Okay, I've got everything to a rolling boil now. I've got some okra. I'm going to put 2 cups of cut okra in there. Let it get started boiling. I got corn to put in here shortly. think that might be enough okra. And of course, I've got my potatoes over there. I kind of cook them a little bit before I put them in. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping those little half ears of corn. I'm gonna put about 8 or 10 in there. I don't want to get my pot up too high. But this is gonna be some good old. You probably say it's the same, looks the same as it does when I cook my gumbo, and it does pretty much. But the only thing, I'm not gonna do the black roux like I normally do. To get that boiling again. Those shrimp are in there, and those scallops are down in there, y'all. They're there. And I've got a couple cans of smoked oysters that I'm gonna just go ahead and drop them in so that flavor can just cook. Like I said, you know, it's hard around here to buy oysters, fresh oysters. So I've used these canned ones before, so they will work just fine, y'all. And I've got some of that premium, whatever that means, imitation crab meat to throw in there. So I'm going to be throwing some of that in there shortly. I'm going to go ahead and let that boil, get this boiling really, really good. And then I'll drop that crab meat, and I want to cook to pieces. So this has got to come to another boil. Okay. Well, I guess I might as well go ahead and put all that corn in. No point in saving those 2 or 3 pieces. I'll just put the whole pack of 12 ears of corn. So all of the meats, everything is like 1 pound of shrimp, 1 pound of that crab meat, a pound of potatoes, a pound of chicken, a pound of shrimp, a pound of what do you call it? Not oysters. Yeah, oysters, a pound of oysters, and then the smoked oysters, 1 pound of that. And then 1 pound of the crab meat. I think I said that. What else did I put? I seem like I missed something. But anyway, I've got to add a few more dry ingredients. Now, so far I've added my, I told you I made my own Jamaican jerk seasoning, so I put some of that in there already. I put 2 tablespoons of that in. I put some Cajun, a tablespoon of that Cajun seasoning in. And y'all know my gumbo filet, I can't even begin to tell y'all. I've had that gumbo filet, I don't know, 15, 20 years. Somebody gave me an entire bottle, and I've just kept it over time. So I got my aged gumbo filet in there. I'm getting ready now to put me a teaspoon of black pepper. Oh, and I'm going to put some smoked paprika in there. I got my hands on some, I went to the health food store and got me some smoked paprika. I love this stuff. So I'm going to give me a teaspoon of that smoked paprika in there. You use that kind of spray. You don't put too much of that paprika in whatever you're cooking. Just enough to enhance the flavors, y'all. So we're going to get this boiling here. And then we're going to get the crab meat in. And the potatoes will go in last. Because I already cooked them. So hold on and we shall return. Okay, I'm back, y'all. And now I've got to thicken this stew. So what I did, this is about 4 tablespoons of flour. Ran some cold water in it, and I put about 2 cups of the broth. And I'm going to put a little bit more broth out of the stew. So I don't want to add any, don't really want to do water. So we're just going to make sure stir it's really nice and thick. And this is what I'm going to be adding to the pot to thicken up. You'll see little white balls in there. This is flour. They'll break down once they boil out. They'll boil out, so they'll be okay. So before I thicken, I'm going to go ahead and put in my crab meat. And I found a piece of fish in the fridge. I'm just finding everything, everything is going. This is going to be my everything stew. So it's not going to slow it down from boiling that much. As you can see, put that crab meat in there. I'm going to go ahead and put those potatoes in there. And that's it. that's the last ingredient.
But just stop breaking it.
I would love to have another
Stop breaking
bag of shrimp. Really would. If I can get a hold of Tins, I'll have her to bring me a bag back. She usually keeps extra shrimp. And I thought I had a bag, but I haven't found it so far. So we're just going to let that come back to a boil again.
DJ?
Yes. They tattling on each other now. Yes.
Cal's crashing the tablet.
She crashing it? Really?
Yep.
How so? How is she crashing it? What do you mean?
It like this.
Oh, you, okay, don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to pour about half of that thickening agent. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it thickening agent. Just going to pour half of it in there. Stir it in really good. And then when it boils up, I will know if I need to do anything else to thicken. Okay? We want it too thick, but we want it thick enough. It's nice and brothy. And stewy all together at the same time.
I heard you say something. I did not say nothing yet.
Okay.
I heard you. Wait, I see neighbor right there. You big old
That's a
head.
lot of broth in that pot, so we're just going to pour a little bit more thickening in there.
You killed me.
Not going to hurt a thing.
You killed me.
Because if it gets too thick, I can just thin it back out with, I've got my bouillon. You know, you take your bouillon, mix it with a little water versus putting water in. Okay. Okay.
Why the neighbor out my house? Oh, geez. Neighbor, get out of our house. Get out of our house.
Okay. I want that to come back to a boil again so that I can see how thick it really is. So y'all hang tight and I'll be back.
I got done with my
Okay, y'all, I've got my heart's desire all ready.
Okay,
My
Kelly,
fish
you
stew
ready?
is ready.
You ready for the
I'm just
word
going to
I'm
help a
saying?
bowl of it right here
Get off.
in this plate.
What I
My,
say?
I said this is my seafood bowl.
What I say? Go, go. I see a lot of words. Ooh,
Okay, we got chicken, fish, crab meat, oysters, potatoes, okra, and of course corn.
Say, are you going to dot me? Say it. Wait.
So this is a meal to behold, y'all. Okay, so that's a nice bowl full right there. And we're going to serve it. Kareem! No, he's ready to eat some. And of course, I've got some these are called Louisiana hush puppies. Just a few little hush puppies to eat along with them.
Go. I'm still seeing your nail like
Okay, and there we go.
Hello.
And we can even you can put a little bit of rice. Well, I'm not gonna eat it because this is kind of late at night, and I don't want to eat too much. And I don't think Kareem likes rice in his either. So we're not gonna do rice right now. But you can put rice right in the center. Look at me making a mouse. That's a good looking bowl, y'all. Good looking bowl. And I mean to tell you, this freezes well. If we have some left over, it will freeze well, and you can eat this. You can freeze this stew or gumbo, however you want to call it. It's made pretty much the same, except I didn't make that black roux to go into this time, and a couple other things I didn't do. But this is Peggy's seafood stew.
See you. I'm gonna play.
Love that broth that's in there. Okay, y'all. So listen, guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. It didn't really take this long. It takes about a good hour and a half to make from start to finish. Of course, you can let it simmer as long as you want to. But as far as putting it together, it takes a good hour to put everything together, get all your ingredients. You want to watch the video, get all the ingredients. And it's pretty much the same as when I make the gumbo. But this is Peggy's seafood stew that we're having for Wednesday night dinner. Now the babies, of course, they ate something different. They wanted mac and cheese and sliced turkey sandwiches. So they've had their dinner. So Kareem and I are going to feast. And Karan, he'll be back. We're going to feast off of this here. And this will take us through the weekend, y'all, probably. So, guys, until I decide to cook again, keep those prayers going up for our sisters and brothers in Haiti, throughout the United States where they're going through any kind of hardships. My friend Barbara, keep her lifted up in prayer for a grave sickness in her family. So, guys, until I decide to cook again, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Thank y'all for all the comments from Kareem. He says, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. He'll be coming back to us, trying to encourage him to get his own channel. So he'll be having some things from time to time on the channel. And the babies, of course, I know y'all hear them in the background. So anywho, y'all, we're going to cut this short and say thank you, love you. Until I decide to cook again, keep those prayers going up now so the blessings will continue to come down. Pray without ceasing. Do something kind for someone. Toodaloo.